Hi everyone, David Gewertz here. I'm going to start today with a reader question. We're trying to do something new. I get reader questions pretty regularly, and many of them are just available as answers online. But this time I decided to take it in a different path and give you a video response, in part because I thought that the question was good, and in part because I really appreciate what our reader is doing, and I thought I would share with you. So the question is from Richard Hall. Richard says, I'm also from the Space Coast, which is where I live, currently deployed to Afghanistan, and I'm interested in cyber warfare and cybersecurity. I'm planning on pursuing this as a career when I return home this spring. The problem is I don't know exactly where to start. Any suggestions? So, Richard, you didn't tell me too much about your background. You're not telling me what service you're in or what you're doing in Afghanistan, whether you have a college education, a technical background, any of those things. So I'm going to just sort of run the scope of things. Let's start by saying that because you're already in the military, probably the best thing to do is talk to people both in your own service branch as well as through the various military training services that are available to you. An enormous amount of cybersecurity work is being done through the U.S. government and through the U.S. military. So if you wanted to get into this, and perhaps you already have, for example, a secure clearance of some kind, that might be a really great way to get started. They may pay for some of your education. They may take you through the process. Now, there's a variety of different things when you're thinking about cybersecurity and cyber warfare. The cyber warfare stuff is generally something you're going to encounter through government. And with a limited extent through the private companies providing service to the government. Cybersecurity is a field that's much broader in the sense that it's something that will be reachable for everybody. I mean, anything from people with home computers, corporations, schools, universities, everybody needs to add and practice some degree of cybersecurity. And, in terms of the degree of threat that's necessary, different companies will need different levels of cybersecurity. We've done a variety of interviews and videos and webcasts on that here on ZDNet and CBSI as well. So definitely take a look at the CBSI lecture series on cybersecurity. If you go to the homepage of ZDNet Government, just click the ZDNet Government thing up there, and at the very top you'll see the lecture series link. You can go into that and watch some of those. But let's talk a little about what this is. You're looking at the question of anything from, like what I do, which is advise people on the broad issues of things, to actually defending against an attack, to some of the physical aspects of it as well. The very best background, of course, is education. Different kinds of education, whether it's a computer science degree, an advanced computer science degree, going for the various Microsoft certifications, learning your way through the stuff. But education, education, education is key here. Now, that said, education won't teach you everything you need to know about cybersecurity. And the reason for this is that it's an arms race. And so what's happening is you've got the bad guys are learning to some degree what the people who are learning, and then they're modifying their attacks to find vulnerabilities and flaws in the systems that they're dealing with. So education is the first stage because you need to understand all of these different capabilities and systems and learn how to deal with it. But then there is the creativity and in the field practice that gives you the experience from that. And so then you're looking at, again, where do you find a gig for this? Are you looking at connecting with one of the security companies? Are you looking at being hired as an IT manager or something like that in a regular corporation? But what I would tell you is this. The first place to start is your own service and the Pentagon and the military, the U.S. military, because you're already there and because so much of this is done and needed by the government. You may have a leg up in terms of financing your education or something like that. The second thing you need to do is look at certifications to get started, but don't trust them all. The same thing with colleges. I would say that you might want to go and take a degree in cybersecurity, but remember that because this seems to be such a burgeoning career, many colleges are trying to train on this, and they're training on it quite well, but they see it as a burgeoning business opportunity. So even though you may go through what quote-unquote college number 43 says is a cybersecurity program, that doesn't mean at the other end there are millions of jobs out there waiting for you. And then to some degree, you're going to need to apprentice your way up, finding a starter position, finding an IT manager position. The best credentials are I fought an attack and won kind of credential. So you want to work with other people who are expert in this field, perhaps join the various professional organizations that deal with security and cybersecurity, meet people, see if you can find yourself some mentors, which are always a great idea. People in the field who can help guide you, people in the field who will bring you in on things to show you what's going on. Now, again, you're dealing with a confidentiality issue, so it's a lot harder to apprentice in this field than it would be in a field that doesn't have such a degree of confidentiality, because most companies, as well as the government, of course, don't necessarily want to let you know or let outside people know when they've been breached. But that said, it is possible to meet people, to associate with them, read everything you can read all the web pages, the blogs, the instructions, take every class you can get, become knowledgeable on the subject. And you can start off free. I mean, for example, we have a 0-day an Identity Matters blog here on ZDNet, and read them every single day. Absorb everything you can. Follow the links they link to. Read the papers that they link to. Read, and at some point you'll pick up a good chunk of knowledge that you can then begin to deploy in your quest for growing your career. So I wish you the best of luck. I thank you very much for your service. And one other thing I want to tell you is I asked Professor Darren Hayes about careers in cybersecurity. He teaches forensics at Pace University, and although he's going to talk mostly about forensics, I have a link down below to his video, and watch his video. About halfway through it, he'll start talking about the careers in this area as well. So that's something else for you to look at and learn from, to give you some ideas on where to go with this. And keep it up. We need more people. We need more warriors defending against the bad guys. So I wish you luck in your quest, and once again, thank you very much for your service. I am David Gewirtz. This has been the ZDNet Government Blog, and tune in again. We're going to have some more fascinating people who we interview. Take care, everybody.